So, who do we have on our list of the best kickers going into fantasy season for 2025? How do our list look for the best defense and special teams going into this year? And how long is this soap opera in Dallas going to draw out? Well, we're going to try to find the answers to those questions and a lot more as we get you ready for another preseason edition of Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right now. Well, hello again, everybody. It is time once again for another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Thursday night, August 7th, 2025, wherever, whenever, and however you're watching. Thank you for making us part of your week. My name, of course, is Tim McClellan, your favorite armchair football fan right here, joined as always by my two partners in crime. First, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, the one and only Mr. John Flynn. And, of course, right down here is, of course, our Fantasy League Commissioner, Mr. John Natali. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Yeah, doing good.
I'm good. We're getting closer to the football season because some of the teams started their preseason action tonight, and we actually have a couple of hot topics related to stuff to stuff that went on today actually. But let's see, yeah, but I'm raring to go, and without any further ado, Tim, we got some hot topics before we reveal our special teams lists for the upcoming season.
And as you can see by what I have in my message here, we are only 28 days away from the start of the 2025 NFL season.
That's right.
And just a reminder, we are 22 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
For our season premiere, the Fantasy Draft Special, which will be Friday, August 29th, 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central, which will be 6:15 where our good friend Natali is right now.
Yep, correct.
So I'll be sure to keep an eye out for that. Yes, so many hot topics going on in the league right now. There was so much things going on, I couldn't even keep up. But see, that's why I got my buddies John Flynn and John Natali with me to kind of catch me up a little bit. A very scary situation in Chargers camp. It looks like I think is there a defensive player named Slater?
So there's star left tackle Rashawn Slater, who the Chargers just extended to a 4-year, $113 million contract last year, about a couple of weeks ago. Is suffered a ruptured patella tendon in practice today, and his season is now over. So I think that's a huge thing going on right now. So this obviously stinks for the Chargers, stinks for Slater and company. So that's a huge loss for the Los Angeles Chargers. And so you think there's some fantasy implications with this?
Well, it's one blow to their offensive line. I thought they were going to be a dark horse team initially, but it's not looking glim right now.
I mean, I was ready to record Hooked on Sports for this weekend after tonight's podcast and say so that the Chargers are one of those teams where you don't know what's going to happen this season. I'm still trying to figure out what they are before I lock in my playoff picks. But after this, I'm out. I mean, because the Chargers are supposed to be built on being a physically physically unforgiving football team, and that's built on the trenches. And now, and they lost their best offensive lineman to a season-ending injury. And it's also, and I think it's the second time in 4 years that he suffered a season-ending injury so early on, because he ruptured his biceps 3 years ago, and it caused him to miss the whole season. So. So you think that matters for Justin Herbert and Lad McConkey and Trey Harris and those who are thinking of Amari and Hampton to have that breakout season with Slater, who's supposed to clear the way for him?
Yeah, I mean, every quarterback needs about as much help on their offensive line as possible, and with this injury right here, that really puts like a real good digger on that offensive line out there.
Yeah, and I think if we look at, I'm going to pull up the depth charts right now for the Chargers. Give me one. Give me just a second here while. Yeah, where we look at the roster, but. Yeah, but this is what according to our lads what the Chargers have with their offense. So with Slater now out, as now at least Trey Pipkins and Zion Johnson and Joe Alt. So yes, so I think that the Chargers do have some pieces on the offensive line that I think are suitable. I mean, Joe Alt was an outstanding selection by the Chargers last year. I thought the Chargers were going to draft Malik Neighbors to address their wide receiver, but Joe Alt out of Notre Dame is a classic Jim Harbaugh type and Joe Ortiz type of pick. So that's what the Chargers are at. So.
And I still think that the AFC West will probably be one of the most competitive divisions going into this year. So
I actually do agree with you because and I think this includes the Raiders too because look, you have Pete Carroll as the coach. They did not have any resemblance of quarterback play last year. And yet Brock Bowers put together one of the greatest rookie season by a tight end ever last year. And that's where things are at when you think of Geno Smith, when you're thinking of what they have at the running back position in Ashton Genty. I really think this is going to be good here for the Raiders. I don't think they're going to play in the postseason because I think the AFC is so competitive. Right. But I think building blocks will be put in place this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for the Chargers going through the rest of the season without that big offensive lineman. Speaking of offense, an injury in Texans camp. Safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he suffered a right leg injury. However, there have been reports that the ACL is intact, but they're just going to keep an eye on him to see the extent of the injury. And hopefully it will not be too long of an injury. Hopefully he won't miss some serious time. Maybe not. Hopefully he'll start in the preseason, but they're gonna keep an eye on that injury right there. So let's have to see what happens there in Houston.
Yeah, we have some other injury news over here too. I'm looking on my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
quarterback Anthony Richardson dislocated his pinky.
Yeah, that's right. Flynn and I were talking about this during our pre-show meeting, and it's on his throwing hand, and he's kind of had a history of injuries right there. So
yeah, I don't even know how to feel about the Colts right now. It's not even clear who's going to be starting yet. Will it be him? Will it be Daniel Jones? Who knows?
I mean, if it's a fractured pinky, I mean, like how you supposed to to grip the ball and put a pinky on the lace
right.
When you're trying to throw, like how are you supposed to do that?
Right. All right. So it was a throwing hand. I'm guessing that's what it was.
Yes, it's right throwing hand.
Right throwing hand. So
but Shane Steichen did say after the game that Richardson is day to day.
Yes.
And Richardson got the start today amid his camp battle with Daniel Jones to see who the Colts starting quarterback is. So that's where things are at when it comes to that.
Another serious injury that's coming from Ravens camp. Their cornerback Bilal Cohn, I think it's Bilal Cohn, tore a ligament in his left knee during the Thursday night 24-16 win against the Colts, which happened earlier today. And it looks like he'll sit out the rest of the season. He was drafted in the 6th round, so another rookie goes down right before the season starts for the Ravens.
Yeah. And this is a non-injury news that I think that fans of the Cincinnati Bengals can use. And Joe Burrow played a preseason game today, and for the first time in his career, Joe Burrow has played more than one possession of in a preseason game, and like I can't stress enough the importance of how big a deal of that is. And if you're looking to see how big of a deal it is, take a look at his history here when it comes to Joe Burrow. And look, these are a lot of nuggets of utility when it comes to Cincinnati. That's been bad injury luck. Last year he was not injured at all, but you had the Jamar Chase holdout situation, which I remember. It's if the Bengals got that Jamar Chase extension done well before the season started, Jamar Chase would not have played in that game. Would have played in that game against the Patriots, and that would have been a game the Bengals would have won. And that and them losing at home to Jacoby Brissett, Gerard Mayo, and the Patriots. That was the difference between playoffs and no playoffs.
Right.
And it's especially important for the Bengals to get off to a fast start, because you know who their first two opponents are. The Cleveland Browns week 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars week 2. And Zach Taylor has started 0-2 in 5 of his 6 seasons as the head coach in Cincinnati. Now this is year 7 for Zach Taylor.
So these two should be wins. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, and not just that, but for those hoping to have Burrow and Chase play at high levels, I mean, then you take a look at what they did in their preseason game tonight in Philly against the Eagles. And the Eagles and remember the Eagles did. They have several players who are backups that could be starters on other teams at their respective positions. And tonight, Joe Burrow went 9 of 10 for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and Jamar Chase had 4 catches, 77 yards, and including a 36-yard touchdown reception. So So that's definitely an encouraging sign there. You have to think for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Very, very encouraging indeed.
Yeah.
There's another player who just suffered a season-ending injury. This is from Lions Cap. Their second-year quarterback Ennis Rakestraw is on season-ending injured reserve. Underwent successful shoulder surgery, which will knock him out for the entire year. So he posted on social media he'll be back soon. So a little chink in the Lions defense there.
Yeah, and again, the Lions. I thought I attribute like the Lions missing their losing last year in the playoffs to like all the injuries that they suffered. So remind me, who is this they lost again?
The guy's name Ennis Rakestraw, corner.
Oh yeah, a corner. All right. Yeah. All right. I think I see it now, but yes. So we have that, and now there are other things that happened earlier this week. So around training camp, so that will probably need to consider in terms of the development. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are planning to use their 4 running backs and use a committee approach. Yeah. So remember the Jaguars, they had Travis Etienne, who was our first round pick in 2021. He was drafted 25th overall. You have Tank Bigsby, who came onto the scene last year. And then they have a couple of other backs, Bashal Tootin, who we discussed in our running back series, where he has a lot of speed and can offer things and can offer things there as well. And then the Quint Allen Jr., who they plan to use as a third down back. So if you're planning on so I think the thing here is if you're thinking of drafting the Jaguars running back, this is kind of bad news bears, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This looks like too many cooks in the kitchen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then there are some other notes in there that I have as well, and I'll just rattle off some of them before we continue on. So in Tampa Bay camp, Bucks running back Bucky Irving they see him as special enough to warrant high volume running back 1 role, including pass catching work. So that's. Remember, Bucky Irving is probably going to be gone in the first 2 rounds of in fantasy drafts in most settings.
Mm-hmm.
So the Steelers the Steelers plan to have the passing game revolve around 3 players: DK Metcalf, Pat Frymuth, and recently acquired Jonnu Smith. So I think that if you're looking to draft them in fantasy, I think that's what they're looking to do. But we don't know. But obviously, Jonnu Smith's fantasy stock has gone down the tank because not having enough volume, having to split his volume now with a fellow top 10 tight end from last year in fantasy. So it's how about some reporting from the Titans training camp? Tyjae Spears getting close to 100 carries wouldn't be shocking. So what does it mean now if you're Tennessee? And as they think Tony Pollard's fantasy stock is dipping a little bit, and maybe Tyjae Spears is someone you might want to have at the end of the season.
Well, it doesn't sound flashy, but it doesn't sound trashy either. I mean, there's could be a strong possibility that Spears could probably get more carries than Pollard.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then if you're looking for deep sleeper going into the bench, looking at the bench, so the Browns are likely to have Cedric Tillman as their number 2 wide receiver. So let me pull up the Browns roster. And by the way, did you hear the Browns have another quarterback?
Wait a minute. So that's 6 quarterbacks now?
Yeah, that's 6 quarterbacks now.
So we got Flacco, we got Pickett, we got Gabriel, we got Sanders, got Watson on the injured list. So they feel that they had to get another one to kind of fill in for Watson.
I mean, what? But Dylan Gabriel's banged up, Shedeur Sanders is banged up, and Kenny Pickett is hurt too. So they have 4 quarterbacks, and 3 of them are banged up right now. So
wow, jeez.
I just mean, oh God,
jeez, a 40-year-old is in better shape than all these guys.
What?
A 40-year-old is in better shape than all these guys.
A 40-year-old guy. He's a man. He's 40. What in the world is Andrew Berry thinking?
I mean, it's a combination of it's like a combination of his ineptitude and the Haslam's are foaming at the mouth about Archie Manning, thinking they're gonna draft him in 2026 or 2027.
Yeah, I have the perfect theme for the Cleveland Browns right now. I'm sure Tim's probably heard of this more. Flynn's probably heard of this series too, but Tim's more likely to know about it. The Benny Hill theme song.
Yeah, the Yakety Sax.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness! I mean, I guess it's a soap opera in Dallas, but I think it's a comedy show in Cleveland now.
It's. He makes Jerry Jones look like Jeffrey Laurier.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, but then we got it. Then I think since we talked about Dallas and we compared and contrast, Tim, how could we not move on without talking about what's going on with Micah Parsons?
Oh boy.
Well, not just Micah, but there are still a few good star players out there still looking for contracts. He, of course, tweeted earlier this week or late last week that he didn't want to be in Dallas anymore, that he wanted to be traded. But, of course, Jerry Jones says that he has no intention whatsoever to trade Micah Parsons. So he is due $21 million on this, which is his 5th-year option, the final year on his current rookie contract. Reportedly seeking a $200 million long-term deal. It would make him one of the highest, if not probably one of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL league history. Some people say that he may predict that he may go ahead and sign an extension with the Cowboys, maybe for about 4 years at about $180 million. That's what they're saying, but so what are we looking at here? I guess we were just looking at a tweet that Micah put out.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I just put back a couple of things of his from the long message he posted. So, but But if you're looking for reasons for optimism, that there was a little bit of it last night because apparently Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones met for a pretty long time. It's occurred during practice regarding contact talk. So Micah was there, but his agent was not there. So things are trending in the right direction if you're rooting for Micah Parsons to stay in Dallas. But but things are going to have to remain to be seen to see what the Cowboys are going to be with Micah Parsons.
Yeah, hopefully I can get that deal done because ever since Micah Parsons came into the league in 2001, he has been nothing short of a man beast. 2021 NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he is just all over quarterbacks like flies on a lamppost at the middle of the night. I mean, he is one talented individual, and I know a lot of Cowboy fans myself, like me, and our good friend Adam Oliver. We would just be sickened if he went to take his talents elsewhere. I mean, 4 years in Dallas. I mean, look at this. I mean, what other player do you know of that has these kind of credentials in only their first 4 seasons in the league? 4 Pro Bowls, 3-time All-Pro. As I said, 2021 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 52.5 sacks, 9 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries.
I mean, Micah Parsons is one is. I mean, we know obviously about that, and then. He's been playing at such a high level, but I think the unfortunate reality here for Dallas is that if you're looking to compete, with Philadelphia in the division, then that you gotta look gotta look and say that this is. So that the Eagles have are a lot deeper than Dallas. They have a lot of players that can play positions of need there. So I think that's the thing about Parsons, because he doesn't think he can win in Dallas. So yeah, and also if you look at so where he was and in 2021, he was second. In his first 2 seasons, he was number 2 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. 2 years ago, he was ranked 3rd, finished 3rd in the voting. In 2023, he was behind Myles Garrett, and then 2022, he was behind Nick Bosa, and then in 2021, he was ranked behind. In 2021, he was ranked. It's behind T.J. Watt.
Yeah, so wow, I mean, with credentials like that in your only first 4 seasons, I just hope a deal will be made soon. But like Flynn said, Parsons and Jones met behind closed doors, just one-on-one. So hopefully something good will come out of that, and hopefully something good will come out of Buffalo with the James Cook situation. He's right now on the final year of his contract, scheduled to make about $5.7 million there. He's seeking maybe about $15 million a year, which will make him one of the highest paid players at the wide receiver position, or the running back position. And prediction, according to CBSSports.com, they'll say he'll probably sign a 3-year deal worth about $43.5 million.
So I mean, for a guy that scored 16 rushing touchdowns last season, that sounds about right to me.
And coming off of 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons,
yeah.
And how can you not make a real good deal with that guy. We gotta talk about Scary Terry. This guy about Terry McLaurin. He's the final year of his 3-year contract extension right now. He's due to make $25.5 million. He he's looking for. He's like 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons, which is pretty darn good. Hopefully, looking for about.
Given all the quarterbacks that they've had over the years.
Oh yeah, he's hoping for about $30 million a year, or probably a similar contract as to what DK Metcalf just got from the Steelers. And prediction from CBSSports.com, he'll probably agree to play out his current contract with some guaranteed incentives. So, I mean, Terry McLaurin, he is a pretty darn good receiver in Washington, and it'd be nice if they can get a deal done with him as well.
I mean, I saw a wild rumor going around. We said where a crazy trade rumor that I saw going down. Saw that would have the Commanders trading Terry McLaurin to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for Tyreek Hill. Wouldn't that be something?
I think that's what you would definitely call a blockbuster trade right there.
I mean, it would be like a trade that doesn't make any sense for Washington though, because McLaurin. So I mean he has leadership characteristics that and leadership traits that Tyreek Hill lacks. So why are you trying to solve a problem by creating a problem? It doesn't make sense to me.
No, absolutely not. I mean, just can't put two wrongs together. You know, say two wrongs don't make a right. So hopefully a deal will get done very soon. And speaking of pass rushers, I think Trey Hendrickson is present at Bengals camp. He's still looking for a deal. Led the NFL with 17.5 sacks. He admittedly wants an extension with multi-year guarantees. Put him in more line with top 5 earners at the edge rushing position. He's currently due to make $18.6 million, and this year, which is the final year of the extended deal that he signed a while back, according to CBSSports.com, they predict he'll sign a 2-year, $72 million extension. So hopefully they get something there with Hendrickson over in Cincinnati. So
yeah, so you think we should segue into some of our rankings right now?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead and right on to it. So this week,
but before that, let's reveal our trivia questions that for later on.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I already have mine on my screen already.
Yeah, I have mine as well.
Yeah,
did you come up with one also?
I came up with one probably about an hour ago, and I had to do a little research because it's kind of a difficult question. I'm going to try to make it as easy on you guys as possible.
Yeah. Mine's a 2-parter, but essentially the same question.
Okay. So, who wants to give first?
Yeah, so I'll actually go first because I think mine is a simpler one. So the question I have is which last in 2024, which team led the NFL in sacks on defense? And the second part is which team had the fewest sacks on defense last year?
Figures, yeah. My question is almost exactly the same as yours. Just about the same. Yeah, my only difference is interceptions.
Ooh.
Over the last 5 years. You said 5 years, right?
So in 2024.
Oh, okay. Okay, so mine might have a little bit more thinking. Mine's a 5-year period.
Yeah.
So basically, your question, Natalia, is which team has had the most interceptions in the last 5 years?
Yeah, and the least interceptions in the last 5 years. Starting from today's date, starting in August. Not August 7th, obviously, from 2020 to 2024. 5 season span.
Okay, now my question has to do with kickers.
Mhm.
I'm kind of going on the kicking area. So I'm going to try to make this easy. What NFC team has the unfortunate distinction of having the one kicker that holds the NFL record for the most missed field goals in one game? I'll give you 2 clues. It's an NFC team. Well, they are an NFC team now, but what this occurrence, it took place before the merger. So we're going back a ways.
Okay. So it's not the player I was thinking of right out of the gate.
No.
I mean, who is that guy that had double doink? I mean, I know this is not obviously not when the Bears lost to the Eagles. So who is that? Oh, I'm thinking of Cody Parkey, that kicker that was so bad that he all I did was make a field goal. They would have beaten the Eagles and gone to the divisional round.
Yeah, interesting one. I wasn't thinking about him, but that's an interesting one. I was thinking about Blair Walsh for a second.
Well, Blair Walsh, he was actually a decent kicker. It's just unfortunate that he shanked said that what should have been a game winner against Seattle 10 years ago. But so what team is we'll have to figure that out for the time being. Anyway, defense / special teams discussion. All right, so we actually have some differences in our in opinions this week, and they're like all over the place. First of all, I think the Denver Broncos defense is terrific, and Sean Payton talked to the press earlier this week. Stating what the expectations are for the Denver Broncos, and he said during his time in New Orleans, he thought there were 6 teams that could have won the Super Bowl. And this 2025 Broncos iteration would be his 7th, and if you look at if you kind of look at the overall roster, and I do think it's worth bringing up on our lads to talk about this. So I mean, if you look at that defense and all the guys that they have, it's pretty darn good. If you must say that I love what they already have with Nick Benito as a linebacker, Pat Surtain, perhaps the best corner of the game at this point, and Brandon Jones is an excellent safety, and defensive line is really good. And then I also love the other additions they made on defense as well, bringing in Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, who weren't able to be retained in San Francisco because of their salary cap crunch. And then they drafted Jahadi Barron with their first round picks, and I think it is as close to a holeless defense as there is in the NFL. So on that regard, that's why I have the Denver Broncos as the number 1 defense going into the season. And then I have Pittsburgh and Baltimore because both teams have favorable schedules. I did put Buffalo over Philadelphia because Buffalo has a pretty easy schedule for for a first place division winning team. Philadelphia's though is exceptionally difficult. So that's why I put the Eagles at 5, and then the Giants, as good as defense as they have, they're only at number 9. And then I have Minnesota at 6, Houston at 7. It was already there at 7, regardless of the C.J. Gardner-Johnson injury news. Then the Chargers. That Seattle's is kind of an interesting one. They're at 10. The Lions at 11, the Patriots 12, the Jets 13, the Rams at 14 because I think they can generate a lot of sacks. Remember that in the two playoff games they had last year, so they generated 16 sacks in those two games, and they're bringing most of that crew back for this season. So I wouldn't sleep on the Rams defense. And then I have Chicago at 15. They have I think the sack number will be low, but I think they should be able to create some havoc and takeaways. Then I have Steve Spagnuolo's Kansas City Chiefs at 16, San Francisco 17, the Cardinals 18, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19, and I do have the Cleveland Browns at 20. I know the Jeremiah Kosu-Okora is out for the season, but I think Myles Garrett alone can make the Browns defense somewhat respectable, and their defense is honestly not nowhere near as bad as their offense is. So that's where I'm at when it comes to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice list there. I can definitely see Denver at number one. I mean, their defense was pretty stellar last season, and it'll be interesting to see how they can do against well, you said the AFC is pretty much wide open this year, especially all four teams in that AFC West. I mean, keep an eye on those guys. That's going to be, I say that might be a horse race all the way to the end of the season. So let's see.
And you mentioned the AFC West a couple of times. So like in your 1 to 4 power rankings, where do you have your those four teams? Right. I'm not saying you lock them in right now, but if you were to if you were to rank the four teams, how would you rank them?
Overall, probably I think I would say the Ravens at 1.
I'm talking about the AFC West. So the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, those teams.
Oh, I would still put the Chiefs at 1, but that's very close. And then let's say 2 would probably be Broncos, maybe, or is that Planet?
I might take the Chiefs first, but Broncos a very slight second.
Yeah.
Then
I would say the Raiders.
Chargers third, then the Raiders at 4th.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm reversing 3 and 4. I'm putting Raiders 3, Chargers 4.
Yeah, I think I don't have that list right. I don't have that as my ranking right now. But when I lock in my playoff my season predictions, I won't be surprised if I have the Chargers as a 4th place team in the AFC West.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go next with their defense?
I guess I'll go.
All right, take it away.
Yeah, this one was really tricky. Like I mean, I was expecting us to be all over the place. That one I pretty much expected. Same thing for kickers. We're definitely going to be all over the place there too. So we can't say we're surprised. Yeah, I think like 1 through 3 is pretty interchangeable. It was really tough, but I gave the Ravens the edge. I just felt like that they've been phenomenal ever since they've gotten Roquan Smith. They've been spectacular.
So, although I do think one thing you do have to know here, I mean, because the Ravens' pass defense had a lot of issues last year, but with Mike Macdonald leaving to be the head coach of Seattle, but Zach Orr came in and he's done a phenomenal job with that defense. I mean, they can play at a high level in any position.
Oh yeah. And then number 2, I put the defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're the Super Bowl champs for a reason. They have a very powerful offense, a very powerful defense. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back again. And number 3, I put the Denver Broncos. Yeah, looking back, I think I could have put them at the 2 spot or even the 1 spot. I forgot I had them in my fantasy league last season. I had them for a brief while, and yeah, they were spectacular in the moments that I had them. Let's see. Yeah, number 4, I put the Texans. although right now they have some, they're in a little bit of a pickle right now, but I think they're going to be okay. Let's see. Number 5, I gave it to the Steelers. Yeah, they've been that defense that's been pretty good for years now. They're always been right at the top. They haven't really done anything to improve, but they haven't done anything to be worse either. They've always been like right there. They're always in the thick of things. Yeah, number 6, I gave it to the Vikings. Yeah, number 7, I gave it to the Lions. Yeah, they still look pretty good. Number 8 might be a bit of a surprise. The New England Patriots. They're not going to be as bad as people think because the Jets and the Dolphins have a lot of issues right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots make the postseason. They're probably one of my dark horse teams right now that can do it. Let's see. Number 9, I gave it to the Packers. Yeah, number 10, I gave it to the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl for a reason. I mean, although their offense didn't do too terribly much, it was their defense, I think, that really essentially got them there. So
Yeah,
it makes.
but also I think Mahomes needs to have like a vintage AFC Championship game against Josh Allen in order for that to happen, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, number 11, I took the Bills. I mean, their defense hasn't been as good as it was in the past few years. They used to be like a top 5, top 10, but now they're slowly passing back. But luckily, they have their offense that can make up for bad defense.
So I would reconsider that because remember they brought in Joey Bosa, they brought in Tre'Davious White back into the mix, and if you really look at their defense, it's actually pretty darn good if you look at the roster here.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they're gonna win their division pretty easily. It's just that I have some concerns about their defense during the playoff run. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like the ceiling for the Bills team is Championship Sunday. So, and I think part of that has to do with the amount of dudes that are on that defense, and the Bills made sure to invest draft capital this year, picks in rounds 2 through 6 were all dedicated to defense. So I think that's how I think that's going to go.
Okay. Yeah, number 12, I put the Seahawks. Yeah, they were very close last season to making it. Yeah, they made some upgrades. Do I think they're going to make a playoff? Do I think they're going to make the playoffs this year? Maybe. They're one of those teams that I can't quite figure out yet, but I do think they look slightly better this season. Yeah, number 13, the Jets. Although their offense is very weak, I mean, their defense looks pretty respectable, but they're still going to have a rough season nonetheless. Number 14, I put the Bucks. Number 15, the Rams. I mean, I think they're going to win I think they might win their division, but I don't think it'll be as easy as people may think. Yeah, number 16, I'm actually going to put the Giants on this one. I mean, last year their defense was spectacular. I do think they might take maybe a hair step back because I do think their offense is going to be better this season.
But I think if you look at the second half of last season, though, that coincided with Dexter Lawrence getting hurt and Kayvon missing sometimes. But after a really good first 8 weeks of the season, that's when it really tailed off, and then they have problems stopping the run. The key to the Giants defensively this year is going to be, are they going to be able to stop the run? Because the common denominator behind all the Giants' great defenses, besides getting after the quarterback, is the ability to stop the run, and the Giants haven't done that at all over the last 4 years.
Right. Yeah, this might be this could be the season to do it because I don't know. I think Dable might be on the hot seat. We'll see. And then number 17, I gave it to the Colts. The rest of these teams are kind of hard to pick, so they're kind of just random. Number 18, the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 19, the 49ers. Yeah, Fred Warner can't do it all alone. He needs other people to step up. And number 20, my dark horse team, a team that I can vision making the playoffs this time, the Arizona Cardinals.
A couple of things. First of all, with the Cardinals, because if you look at how the Cardinals attacked, how the Arizona Cardinals attacked their draft, they went mostly defense.
Mm-hmm.
In this year's draft, so. Then they have that. I love the drafting of Will Johnson, who was maybe the best defensive player in Michigan's run to a championship a couple of years ago.
Right.
So I think so I think he's going to fit in nicely. But remember, the Cardinals also brought back Calais Campbell. They said they signed Josh Sweat. He played a role in the Eagles' championship run this year. And then you also we also talked about San Francisco, who you have at 19. They probably drafted a couple of week one starters in there, because they drafted Mikael Williams from Georgia with the 11th pick, and then they used their third round pick on Upton Stout, a nickelback from Western Kentucky. So I think there's things that the 49ers had to figure out. So we'll have to monitor that as we for the 49ers stake.
Right.
All right, Tim, I guess it's your turn now.
Oh, yep. Go ahead and put my board up there. I got Baltimore at number 1. It seems like the Ravens defense always makes news in the NFL. They've just been consistently solid over the last 20 years. They've seen players come, they've seen players go, but still they make the plays when they need to be made. I may have the Texans as a fluke number 2, maybe. It'll be interesting to see what happens there in Houston. I got the Broncos at number 3. The Broncos defense last year is pretty good, and I think they could even be even better this year. The Eagles at number 4. Probably the same thing that Natalie said. Philly and Denver and Baltimore could be interchanged a little bit. I got the Vikings at number 5. Be interesting to see what happens there. Steelers at number 6. I could probably see the Steelers finishing maybe in the top 10 by season's end here. The Patriots, like Natalie said, they'll probably do a little bit better than a lot of people will think they will. Packers at number 8. Their defense has not totally been trashy, but they've not totally been flashy. They make the plays when they need to. Same thing with the Seahawks. It'll be interesting to see what the Lions will do this year under their new defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, since they lost their previous coordinator, Aaron Glenn. He's now a head coach in New England.
So with the Jets, actually.
Oh, with the Jets, actually. So Aaron Glenn's with the Jets right there. And speaking of the Jets,
and also with the Lions, that they got getting Aiden Hutchinson back. Remember, because he suffered that gruesome injury in Week 6 last year against the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, so Hutch's return will be a big plus for the Lions defense. The aforementioned Jets, I can see a little bit of improvement with the defense. Their defense is pretty good. It kind of makes up for the lack of offense that they've had there. Buffalo, they were once top 10 defense. They're kind of slowly decreasing, but not so much. Not kind of making a slow crawl downward, very slow. Kansas City's defense has been above average here for the last 5 or 10 years. Be interesting to see what the Dolphins defense can do in that AFC East. Tampa Bay's defense has been pretty good over the last 5 years. I got them right in the middle, right near the middle of the pack right there. Chargers, the same thing. 49ers defense is, I got them at 17. Be interesting to see what happens there when they go up against the other defenses in the NFC West. I've pretty much got Seattle and Arizona in there. In fact, I got all four NFC West teams in there. I got the Rams at number 20, I got the Arizona Cardinals at number 19, and then right there at 18, Indianapolis Colts. Not too good, but not too bad.
Right.
Now, before we wrap this up, there is one team conspicuous that is not on our list here, probably because of the drama that's going on, and because of the fact that at the end of last year, they did lose a couple of good players. They lost DeMarcus Lawrence, who are now playing with the Seahawks to bolster their defense. And they also lost their edge rusher, Chauncey Golston, to your New York Football Giants.
Oh, yeah.
And now with the Parsons situation going on, I couldn't quite put my Cowboys on this list. If I did, they'd probably be either number 21 or 22. I kind of got them off the list right there because of the Parsons situation, of course, with losing Lawrence and Golston. So,
Right.
So that's pretty much our defense and special teams list.
All right, so now this leads us into our kicker ranking. So, and believe it or not, last year I was this close to having Brandon Aubrey as what would have been the league winner. Based on the incredible season that he had, and then that great performance against Tampa Bay. Because I remember last year in the semifinals, I was going up against the tally, and Aubrey was the last player to go, and I needed 22 points out of him. He got like 20.5 or 21s, which was which was painful. A painful way to miss out on a championship, but but Brandon Aubrey is still number one. He has the advantage of playing indoors. Same thing with Cameron Dicker and Jake Bates. Will Lutz is actually number 4 on my list because he can kick a lot of long field goals, and he'll have the benefit of playing in the Mile High where the ball travels faster through the air. And then Cammy Fairbairn for the Texans at 5. He was outstanding last year. Tyler Bass, number 6. And then I have Harrison Butker. Tyler Loop of the Baltimore Ravens. He's the Justin Tucker replacement. He's been getting some rave reviews in Baltimore, and he's kicking 60-yard field goals every day in practice. So so I couldn't leave him out of my top 10. Chase McLaughlin at 9, Chris Boswell at 10, and then I rounded up my list with Matt Gay, Evan McPherson, Jake Elliott, Jason Myers, Daniel Carson, Younghoe Koo, Will Riker of the Minnesota Vikings, Josh Riccardi for the Rams, Jason Sanders for Miami, and Jake Moody. Remember, and he's trying to bounce back off what was a very disappointing sophomore season for the San Francisco 49ers.
Very interesting list right there. So, Natalia, we're back to you now with your list.
Yeah, I also put Brandon Aubrey at number 1. It was pretty much the clear choice here. You can call him the new, what did you call it? New Mr. Automatic Reborn, basically. Mr. Automatic 2.0. Yeah, move over, Justin Tucker. There's a new Mr. Automatic in the house.
Yeah.
And then, number 2 was Jake Bates. I think he had several 60-yarders, if I remember correctly, last season. He did very well there. Yeah, number 3, I gave it to Cameron Dicker. And number 4, I'm going to put Chase McLaughlin. And then number 5, I gave it to Jake Elliott. Yeah, number 6, Tyler Bass. Number 7, Harrison Bucker. Yeah, number 8, Kaimi Fairbairn. I mean, I was tempted to move him towards the back of the row, but because he had a very solid season, I had to put him higher. Number 9, Tyler Loop. I'll put him just about right in the dead center. I gotta see what he shows. But if he does very well, he could easily be a top 5 going into next season. Number 10, the veteran Chris Boswell. He definitely still has a lot left at his age. He's been playing for what, like 15 seasons now or something?
Yeah, and he was actually first team All Pro last year at kicker. Yeah. Believe it or not, yeah, he was fantastic last year.
Yeah. Despite Boswell aging, he still has a lot left in the tank. Number 11, I'm going to give it to Cairo Santos, and number 12 will go to Matt Gay. Number 13, Jason Sanders. Number 14, Evan McPherson. He started off really well, but then towards the latter part of the season, I think he might have gotten injured, if I remember correctly, or he just fell flat. Mm-hmm. Number 15, Joshua Carty. Number 16, Yunhu Koo. He's getting a little bit older now, but he still has a lot left to show. Number 17, I'm going to give it to Will Lutz. I think the top 10 is a little bit of aggressive, but we'll see how he does. If he proves me wrong, fantastic.
Yeah, but see, my rationale for putting Will Lutz at number 4 is that I feel like there's going to be games where the Broncos are going to win like 16-6 or like 23-17. Yes, so I think the game script is going to allow for him to
true.
To play a role in it. So I think that's what I was thinking.
Very good points. Yeah. Number 18, Jason Myers. Yeah, he's always been that. He's like the epitome of your average kicker. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but he doesn't do too many flashy things either. Although he's had a few 60-yarders here and there, but he's pretty much, for me, he's pretty much the epitome of the typical average kicker. And then number 19, Brandon McManus, and then rounding out the top 20. Well, I actually have a team in the same exact spot. My dark horse team, the Arizona Cardinals, with Chad Ryland.
Mm-hmm. Interesting list there. Now we go to my list, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but I think this is pretty much the only position list where we have all agreed on the number 1 spot.
That's true. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think Flynn initially did not have Brandon Aubrey at number 1, but I think you changed your mind.
No, we all had Jamar Chase at number 1 at wide receiver.
For wide receiver, so we had him. We all agreed on him at number 1, so we all agree. Brandon Aubrey at number 1. That guy can make 60-yard field goals in his sleep.
Yeah, and also we also all had Brock Bowers at number 1 as well.
For tight ends, right. So this is our third list where we all agree on the number 1 spot. Aubrey in this case. Got Jay Banks at number 2. Cameron Dicker, the kicker from Texas, at number 3. I got him right there. I got Chase McLaughlin at number 4. Harrison Bucker, I got him a little bit higher than you guys. I got him at number 5. I got Jake Elliott at number 6. Tyler Bass at 7. Chris Boswell, as Natalie said, he's getting up there in age, but he's still got something left. I got Jason Sanders ranked a little bit higher at number 9. Kaimi Fairbairn for the Texans at number 10. Tyler Loop, the Tucker replacement for Baltimore, I got him at 11. Joshua Mario Carty at number 12. I got Cairo Santos from the Bears at 13. Matt Gay at 14. Will Lutz at 15 with the Broncos. Evan McPherson at number 16. I got Brandon McManus for the Packers. Got him at number 17. Then I've got Jason Myers at number 18. You're thinking of some really good words for Jason Myers. My word is consistency. He's always been a very consistent kicker for Seattle right there. Then number 19, I've got Youngwei Chu. I am the Walrus at number 19. And Will Ricard at number 20 for the Minnesota Vikings. That basically rounds out my top 20 right there. So that's basically our list right there.
Ready?
And that concludes our preseason fantasy rankings for each one of the different positions. And if any of you missed any of our shows, you can always go back to either John Flynn's channel or my channel. Like I said, this is a joint effort right here. Just go back and take a look at those videos, and you'll see how we ranked all the other players at their positions. And so we of course wrap up the show with trying to figure out the answers to our trivia questions here. So Flynn, let's go back to yours.
Yep. So we were looking for the team that finished first, the defense that finished first in sacks last year, and the team that finished last in sacks last year.
For first, I have a pretty good idea. Though last is pretty tough. All right, I have mine. For first, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos, simply because I had them in the last season as far as my defense goes. I remember them doing very well when I acquired them. And last place, this one's going to be tough. As tempted as I am to say the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
So you're going to go with the Denver Broncos at number 1 and the Carolina Panthers at 32.
Yes.
All right, Tim. What are your answers?
I'm going with the Broncos at number 1, but I'm going with the Jaguars for the last.
Ooh, that's a good one. You might be right on that one.
So both of you are correct. The Denver Broncos led the NFL with 63 sacks last year, 9 more than the second place Ravens at 54.
Wow.
So it wasn't even close. So but you did make some good guesses for who finished last in sacks. So the Carolina Panthers had were tied for the third fewest sacks last year with 32. So
a tie. So I was half right.
That's a tie for third, not first.
Tie for third. So you said so 30th.
Yeah, you tied for 29th technically.
I was close.
Yes, so the Jaguars ranked 28th with 34 sacks. And the team that ranked 32nd in the NFL in sacks only had 28 sacks in 17 games last year, barely a sack and a half per game. And that team was the New England Patriots.
Oh, really? They did not cross my mind at all.
I didn't think, because I thought the Patriots might have had a better defense than that, but I digress.
All right, so who do I want to do next? Tim's or mine?
Let's do Natalie, since you're with. So what remind us of your question?
Yeah. So we're looking for a 5-year period here. The team with the most interceptions in the last 5 seasons, and also the team with the least interceptions in the last 5 seasons. So we're dating back from today through 2020. Well, 2020 through 2024.
Okay.
Let's go with the most first. Let's start there. The team with the most interceptions. Go ahead, Tim. You were pointing something.
The most interceptions. Well,
yeah.
You got to think of 2 guys who play on the same team.
Okay.
One guy is tied for the NFL record for most interceptions in a season. The other guy has the all-time record for the most pick sixes in a season. My answer for the most interceptions in the last 5 years.
Okay.
My Dallas Cowboys.
Going with your Dallas Cowboys, okay.
You guys got to remember, Trayvon Diggs, remember the great season he had? And Deron Bland. Remember his big
Mhm.
season. So for the best one is Cowboys. As far as my worst one, I'm going to kind of pull away from the Jaguars. I'm going to pull away from the Patriots. I'm probably going to say Miami Dolphins.
Wait a minute. So wait, is your official answer the Cowboys or the Dolphins for most?
It's
For the most interceptions in the last half season, I'm going with Cowboys.
Oh, okay. I was going to answer the question separately, but okay. So you're saying Cowboys is highest, and you're saying Dolphins is lowest?
Right.
Gotcha. All right. So Flynn, what are your answers?
I mean, so 3 of the 5 years on this in this time frame, it was when Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and like his defenses were known for wreaking havoc on games, so with takeaways and turnovers and all that stuff. So like Tim, I am going with the Dallas Cowboys as my as the team with the most interceptions over the last 5 years, and then in the last 5 years. This team apparently has trouble developing corners and safeties, so I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Since the most is on my screen first, I'll start there. You both went with the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
With that, over the last 5 years, the Dallas Cowboys had 82 interceptions,
It's like 16 a year.
which puts them third highest. You guys were very close.
Oh.
Number 2, which was only a difference of 84 interceptions, was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And coming at number 1 with just one more interception at 85 was the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. So you guys were super close. You guys were only 3 off. So it was very, very good.
Wow.
Very good effort on that one. Now let me hit the back button here and check the least. So wait, let me recap here. So Tim, you said the Dolphins. Let's see. The least amount in a 5-year span, the Dolphins had, let's see here, 65 interceptions, which puts them 20th.
Oh.
And let's see. What was Flynn's answer again?
The Jaguars.
Okay. The Jaguars had 55 interceptions in a span of 5 years, which puts them 8th lowest. So that one turned out to be a lot tougher. Coming in at number 1 with only 43 interceptions was the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I didn't know how much J.C. Horn played into that, but yeah, I think those are the 2 teams I was thinking of: the Jaguars and the Panthers.
Yeah, and then I'll just round out the top 5 here. The worst 5. Now, the second lowest would have been the Raiders at 45. Then it was the Commanders. Well, actually, the Commanders and the Jets were tied at 51. Then it was the Falcons. Then had 54, and then a tie. A 3-way tie. Giants, Cardinals, and Jaguars were 55.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay, so now it's time for my question. Like I said, about a couple hours before the show went off the air, I came up with this question, did a little research, and it was going to be a difficult question, so I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. This NFL team has the dubious distinction of having the one kicker who has the NFL record for the most missed field goals in one game. Give you two clues. This team is an NFC team.
NFC team?
And it took place before the merger. So this would have been an NFL team before the NFL and AFL merger in 70. So, but they're an NFC team now.
Okay.
They were. Wow, this one's tough.
My answer to me is the Steelers because like for the longest time they had nothing before the before the merger. So I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Okay, Flynn says the Steelers.
I'm trying to think of some. This one's tough. Yeah, I want to say the Cardinals, but something is also telling me Seattle for some reason. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
What?
It was the St. Louis Cardinals.
Really?
Yep.
It was the
It was the St. Louis Cardinals.
The football team.
Yeah, the football team, the St. Louis Cardinals. It was on December 11th, 1966. A guy by the name of Jim Bakken, Bakken, was the kicker for the St. Louis Cardinals. He had 7 field goal attempts and missed 6 of them.
Oh, jeez.
Good God.
He 7 field goal attempts and he missed 6 of them. Oddly enough, it was a game against the Atlanta Falcons, and you say field goals don't really count for anything. Well, it would have counted because the Falcons beat the Cardinals that day by a score of 16-10. And I'm looking at ProFootballReference.com. I'm looking at these players here, and the only player that I know is Jackie Smith. I think he was probably the same guy that missed that surefire touchdown with the Cowboys.
So are there any recent ones on the list, like 10, 15 years, last 10, 15 years?
Let's see here.
Because I'm interested in this.
Cairo Santos, he missed 4 field goals in a game. It was the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. It was October 6, 2019. 4 field goal attempts. He missed every single one. And he is ranked number 10 there. Mason Crosby for the Green Bay Packers. He's at number 11. October 7, 2018, Mason Crosby in a game against the Detroit Lions. I had 5 attempts and missed 4. And looks like not real too recent. Not that many guys here in the last 15 or 25 years that have held those distinctions. Dan Carpenter in 2010 played for the Dolphins. They were in a game against the Buffalo Bills on December 19th, 2010. Dan Carpenter had 4 attempts and missed all 4 of those. So yeah, Natalie came up with the right team. It was the Cardinals.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea because when he said like the merger, I had to think of teams' names that had a different city at the time. That was kind of where I was going.
Well, you went the right direction, obviously.
Yeah. The only difference I had was like I thought of Phoenix Cardinals. I just thought of the wrong era. Right. I remember they were called Phoenix Cardinals at one point.
Yeah, they were. That was right after they left St. Louis. So.
Yeah, I was just about to say I was going to say Seattle, but I'm like, wait a minute, it has to be somebody from a different city. That'd have been a different city at the time.
Probably so. You got it right there. So very good, Natalie. Good guess for Flynn. But I'm not going to do the Jim Downey thing on you, Flynn. I mean, I'm going to let it slide this time, so I ain't going to give you that.
I gave good logic though because
You did.
Yeah.
You did. So, and I guess with that, we are going to close up this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Next week, I think Flynn had a very, very interesting main subject to talk about.
Yeah.
We could make a list of fantasy breakouts, fantasy studs, fantasy duds, and fantasy sleepers that could make impact during the 2025 season. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 weeks left before the draft, I think you have to start really looking into some of the people, some of the names that you're thinking of. So
You want to do like three from each position, like that, like 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, like 3 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, like something like that.
So I think 2 should be enough. I mean, I have candidates, but if you come up with ones I'm thinking of, I can divert to those as well.
Okay, that sounds good. And I think for the show before the draft, that should be the show where we make our predictions for the playoffs and who we think is going to be heading toward the big game.
Yeah, I think it's. Are we doing it like I think we're doing like a special one, like a couple of days, a few days before with that, right?
Yeah, a couple days before the draft, like maybe like a Wednesday or something, or a Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah,
maybe a Tuesday.
Yeah, I know I couldn't do that Wednesday because I have my first of my fantasy drafts.
Right.
My first draft is that night, so might not be available for that one, but
right.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we have some big time content coming your way, leading up to draft night. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Be subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Tim's channel. So yeah, to make sure you're informed of all the updates regarding Fantasy Football Fever.
Yeah, so we'll target the 26th for that, the season predictions.
Yeah.
So the only really thing left to figure out is if anything at all, the week of August 17th. That's if anything at all on that day.
Yeah, we'll probably probably do something, and we'll have to figure that out. But although I do have an idea though, but of what I want of how I want to approach it, but that will come out a little later.
All right.
All righty then. Now, as Flynn mentioned, he'll probably be recording his latest edition of Hooked on Sports very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can always look for it wherever you find your podcast. You go to Apple iTunes, you go to Spotify, you go to TuneIn, wherever you get your podcast. Look up Hooked on Sports, and Flynn will be having a new episode dropping maybe in the next day or two.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at for that. So I mean, it'll be more NFL focused because I spent the last couple of weeks talking baseball stuff. So I'll get back to NFL talk before with preseason ramping up, and of course I got to talk about some of the things we talked about today more in detail. So
of course. Y'all don't forget our buddy Alex Putnam, Apizzle90. He is coming back with another season of the Pain and Game Pick'em Show. The first episode will be on Wednesday, August 27th. We'll be giving our predictions for the rankings, where the teams will finish, and who we got in the playoffs, and who we think will make the Super Bowl. So it's 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on youtube.com/apizzle90. That's where you can find his channel. Be sure to subscribe to that one for all the action there. And once again, don't forget about our big season premiere, our fantasy draft special, August 29th. We will go live at 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central. So,
yeah, but the actual draft one will start 15 minutes after that. That's just like to come in, shoot the breeze, stuff like that.
Yeah, shoot the breeze, exchange pleasantries and all that. Hopefully,
Yep.
we'll have a big crowd right there. So that's what we got planned. Our next show will be next Friday night, August 15th. We saw steepers, busts, and breakouts for the 2025 season. I'll be looking in some research for the next couple of days for that. And I'm sure that guys too. So let's go ahead and give this thing a proper closing here. Thanks for all of you to make this happen. We can't do it without you. So for John Flynn, for John Natali, my name is Tim McClellan. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend ahead. Enjoy next week. See you back here next Friday night. Thanks for watching us, everybody. God bless you all. And as always, be a good sport. See you.